Okay. Next, I want to talk to you about the value on and reference parameter on the example 6-18. This is chapter 6, part 9. I think 9. Let's see. Let's look here. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, part 9 I'm doing. So this is the zip file that I gave everybody is 6-13. And if you're following along, this is what it looks like right now. Let's take a look at this function prototype. Look at this. You have your int a, you have your reference variable of b. These are your reference variable with this thing. Again, if you know that you want to change inside of the main, you would use the reference variable. Or not, you're going to just use your regular function that you have with it. So look at this int number 1, number 2, and number 1 is 10, number 2 is 15, and you're declaring all this variable right now with it. Think, what if you compile this thing and you ran this thing right now? What do you think would say in line 4 inside number 1? What's out here right now? Of course, number 1 right now is what? This is in the memory, is 10. And number 2, this memory is this memory right now. And this CH is the CH right now. So it's going to come up 10, 15, and uppercase A. Then you call fun1, which is short for function 1, and function 1 down here has the formal parameter of A, B, and C. But this is the reference variable. So you're going to come in to this right now and use, this becomes the formal parameter. Inside this, remember now, what is this called? The actual parameter. This is your formal parameter. Now you're in the actual parameter. So it's like you're plugging in right now that you're looking at A is equal to 1. You're going to increment A, okay, and then you're going to take B multiplied by 2, and you're going to take V, this V right here, is this V, okay. So look at A. If you increment, if A now equals 1, right? If A, which is this A right now, right? So this A right now that you are looking at, when you output this thing after you call it, right? So what is this? Remember what we have up here? We don't have A up here, so it's going to output what? It's going to, inside of fun1A, this A is this A that you're outputting with it. So it's going to become what? Increment A becomes 10, 10 increment, it becomes 11. Okay? Because the position on this A that you're passing across is num1. Remember? Num1 is what? 10. Num1, 10 is in here. And you're passing across here is A. And A right now is equal to 1. And then you're going to increment A. A becomes 11. Correct? But you haven't gotten out yet. 2, here's where the 11 comes out with it. You're going to set B. Okay, so what's B? B is what? 15. How do I know it's 15? 15 times 2 is 30. So in the position of the B, this is the position of the B, is number 2. Well, number 2 is a reference variable, remember now. This B right here, alright, when you call in afterward, this, when I'm in the int main, this number 2 right here, in the position of this, you're going to have the B in there. Just want to let you know that. Just put that seed in there, in your head in there for now, okay? So V, in this case, number 2, this is this. So B is what? 15 times 2 is 30, right, for a B. And this B is V, so which is just a regular parameter, formal parameter that does not change with it. Okay. So when you run your first line of code with this thing, it's going to say what? Line 13, inside of fun1, your first A is going to change to what? 11, right? 11. And your B is going to be what? 30, 2 times 15. And then your V is going to equal to what? B. This B right here. Okay. Now, and then you have, and 1, this 1 becomes what? 10. Okay. Because this 1 right here, this 10 right here is still this 10 right here. Okay. So just to don't lose sight of what's going on here, because the order that you pass across here is this. Look at this. Number 1 is equivalent to A. Number 2 is equivalent to reference variable B. CH is equivalent to char V. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? What happens after you call this thing? The only one that's going to change is that reference variable. Which one is that? That's this one. Right? So this one, when you pass across what num2 is 30, right? Is 30 right now, right? This is 30. Watch what happens inside of this one. After you do this, okay? After you do this, you're going to do line 6, number 1. What comes out of number 1? This number 1 should revert back to what? 10, which is the same number 1 as here, because it's not a reference parameter, correct? This number 2 has been changed. This number 2 has been changed. Why? How do I know that? Look, this is the change. So when this is an ampersand on the data type, it changes it inside the int main. Okay? Hold on. So inside the int main has been changed. It's been modified. This char v, okay, that I have right here, after I call it, this is the ch. So it's going to revert back to, what's the ch? Is uppercase A. So in this line here, it's going to say what? It's going to say num1 is going to go back to is 10. Num2 is the only one that changes. And ch, this ch, goes back to what? Is uppercase A. Now, I call fun2. If you look at func2, func2 has 2 reference parameters, the first one and the third one, x and w, x, y, and w. Okay, keep that in mind. It's the first one and the third one. So this one's going to change, and this one's going to change, right? Whatever they tell you to do. So fun num2 coming down here, num2 is this one. So x, okay, I want to plug in the x, and what's x right now? X right now is what? 30, right? Because how do I know it's 30? If you look at the top, and I'm scrolling up and down, I'm confusing you guys with it. So here's this x, right? So you increment x, 30, 30 increments is 31. This is going to change. So when you pass this back to it, that 31 is going to be the new num2. That's my point. Okay. Now, when you look at x in this one, when you look at int y, this is just a regular formal parameter. Y. What's y? Y is what? Y is 25 times 2 is 50, right? So that's your new y with the same. What's your w? W is asked to change to W is your new W. So after line 17, it should say what? Line 17 that you actually have the first out is going to be 31, which is this. And then you're going to have your 50, 25 times 2. And then you have your W, now is assigned to this W is what? Is your uppercase G with it. You call it again, okay? You look at this thing, and you will see that after you do this one, after line 8 is executed, alright, you will see that the change will take place in what? This number 10 will be in there, and would number 2 be changed here? Okay, no. It's going to number, this middle one is going to go back to 31, and this CH is changed to G. Okay, so you can see how I think it's a wonderful example to see how things are changed with it. Please take the time and go over that.